Elkfork Partners LLC has $5.904 million position in General Motors Company, GM. Elkfork Partners LLC increased its position in shares of General Motors Company, NYSE GM, GMM.U, by 170.3% during the first quarter, according to its most recent 13F filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. The fund owned 166,964 shares of the auto manufacturer's stock after buying an additional 105,196 shares during the period. Elkfork Partners LLC's holdings in General Motors Company were worth $5,904,000 at the end of the most recent quarter. Several other large investors also recently added to or reduced their stakes in the stock. Advisors Asset Management Incorporated raised its stake in General Motors Company by 5.6% in the third quarter. Advisors Asset Management Incorporated now owns 113,971 shares of the auto manufacturer's stock worth $3,621,000 after buying an additional 6,094 shares during the period. Cornitzer Capital Management Inc. KS raised its stake in General Motors Company by 11.9% in the third quarter. Cornitzer Capital Management Inc. KS now owns 80,361 shares of the auto manufacturer's stock worth $2,553,000 after buying an additional 8,565 shares during the period. LMR Partners LLP bought a new stake in General Motors Company during the third quarter worth approximately $795,000. Mutual of America Capital Management LLC raised its stake in General Motors Company by 2.2% in the third quarter. Mutual of America Capital Management LLC now owns 167,141 shares of the auto manufacturer's stock worth $5,310,000 after buying an additional 3,639 shares during the period. Finally, Silver Capital Management LLC raised its stake in General Motors Company by 24.0% in the third quarter. Silver Capital Management LLC now owns 14,395 shares of the auto manufacturer's stock worth $457,000 after buying an additional 2,790 shares during the period. Hedge funds and other institutional investors own 71.57% of the company's stock. General Motors Company, NYSE GM, traded up 0.77% during trading on Friday, hitting $32.72. The stock had a trading volume of 14,019,170 shares. The company has a market capitalization of $49.38 billion, a P/E ratio of 5.06 and a beta of 1.32. General Motors Company has a one-year low of $27.34 and a one-year high of $38.55. The stock's 50-day moving average price is $33.84 and its 200-day moving average price is $35.24. General Motors Company, NYSE GM, last announced its quarterly earnings data on Friday, April 28. The auto manufacturer reported $1.70 earnings per share for the quarter, topping analysts' consensus estimates of $1.45 by 25 cents. General Motors Company had a net margin of 5.69% and a return on equity of 22.14%. The company had revenue of $41.20 billion during the quarter, compared to analyst estimates of $37.38 billion. During the same period in the previous year, the business earned $1.26 EPS. The firm's revenue for the quarter was up 10.6% on a year-over-year basis. Analysts expect that General Motors Company will post $6.09 earnings per share for the current year. The company also recently disclosed a quarterly dividend, which will be paid on Friday, June 23. Investors of record on Friday, June 9 will be issued a 38-cent dividend. The ex-dividend date is Wednesday, June 7. This represents a $1.52 dividend on an annualized basis and a yield of 4.65%. General Motors Company's payout ratio is currently 25.33%. GM has been the topic of a number of analyst reports. Zacks Investment Research upgraded General Motors Company from a hold rating to a buy rating and set a $42 price target on the stock in a research report on Monday, January 23. VETR raised General Motors Company from a sell rating to a hold rating and set a $36.41 price objective on the stock in a research note on Monday, January 23. Morgan Stanley boosted their price objective on General Motors Company from $40 to $42 and gave the company an overweight rating in a research note on Wednesday, January 25. Barclays plc reissued a neutral rating on shares of General Motors Company in a research note on Friday, February 3. Finally, Evercore ISI boosted their price objective on General Motors Company from $36 to $40 and gave the company a hold rating in a research note on Wednesday, February 8. 2 analysts have rated the stock with a sell rating, 11 have issued a hold rating, 9 have issued a buy rating and 3 have assigned a strong buy rating to the company's stock. The stock has a consensus rating of buy and an average price target of $38.82. In related news, insider Stefan Jacoby sold 2,670 shares of the business's stock in a transaction that occurred on Monday, April 10. The shares were sold at an average price of $33.85, for a total value of $90,379.50. Following the completion of the transaction, the insider now directly owns 83,065 shares in the company, valued at approximately $2,811,750.25. The sale was disclosed in a document filed with the SEC, which is available through this hyperlink. Also, insider Mark Elroy sold 75,000 shares of the business's stock in a transaction that occurred on Wednesday, May 3. The stock was sold at an average price of $33.35, for a total transaction of $2,501,250. Following the completion of the transaction, the insider now owns 133,052 shares of the company's stock, valued at $4,437,284.20. The disclosure for the sale can be found here. Over the last 90 days, insiders sold 82,791 shares of company stock valued at $2,772,913. 0.04% of the stock is owned by company insiders. About General Motors Company. General Motors Company designs, builds and sells cars, trucks, crossovers, and automobile parts. The company's segments include GM North America, GM NA, GM Europe, GME, GM International Operations, GMIO, GM South America, GMSA, and General Motors Financial Company, Inc., GM Financial. The company provides automotive financing services through General Motors Financial Company, Inc. The company develops, manufactures, and/or markets vehicles in North America under the brands, including Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet and GMC. Receive news and ratings for General Motors Company daily. Enter your email address below to receive a concise daily summary of the latest news and analysts' ratings for General Motors Company and related companies with MarketBeat.com's free daily email newsletter.